Welcome to your Classic Game Room secret video for January 2018. Did you know that next month, February 2018, marks the 10-year anniversary of Classic Game Room HD, which is the modern era Classic Game Room show that ran for 10 years, from 2008 until 2018. I just checked the date. February 19th, 2008 is the day that I uploaded the review of Zaxxon for the Atari 2600, a review starring not me, but that other guy, Monotone Mark. Here it is in its actual size in relation to a 1080p window. That's the Zaxxon review. Back in the day, these were standard definition. Does anyone remember standard definition? I'm making a new intro right now, which is actually an homage to that one. Alright. Well, since we don't need to see it in this little tiny window.
Zaxxon for the Atari 2600. When I grew up as a kid in the 80s, I had a wood-grained Atari 2600.
That's right! Monotone Mark. Monotone Mark never fails to deliver. Let's do a scale to frame size. Boom, we'll bring that up to 1080p. Using that same feature, I could also make it 4K. That way we could watch a review made in 480i off of VHS cassettes, up-converted to 4K. I'm not sure your brain can handle that.
The models with 6 buttons on top. Eventually I got an Atari 2600 Junior, and
actually, I think after many years, I actually sort of figured out that, in fact, I did not own a wood-grained Atari. I still can't remember exactly, but I think it's like we borrowed one for a while, and I definitely got the 2600 Junior, like 1986, 87 in there. That's the one I still use today.
And then a 7800, which is
7800.
what I actually used to capture this footage. One of the games that I remember as a kid is Zaxxon. We all remember Zaxxon in the arcade.
Nice dissolve.
Zaxxon was super futuristic because it had like 3D graphics, and that made it really very different from games like Space Invaders and Pac-Man, which were purely two-dimensional.
Oftentimes I find myself to be purely one-dimensional.
The thing with Zaxxon is that you could fly up and down in a sort of pseudo three-dimensional environment. Sadly, Zaxxon did not make a great transition to the Atari 2600.
It really didn't, but it does make a good first Classic Game Room HD. And I think the show came a long way from its humble beginnings being recorded in my basement on a VCR from the Atari 2600. In 2007, actually, I might have some of these files on here. I gotta dig a little bit since the dates are all screwed up. I can't search by date. But in 2007, the YouTube channel started, the whole Enicom company thing, which was originally intended to be more of a home for the documentaries that Enicom was producing at the time. Enicom was like a part of a company. We were like the production arm of a company and of like an engineering company doing marketing, and early on Enicom was doing internet video, just, early internet video broadcasting, and then that one thing led to another, turned into DVDs, grew with the DVD industry, got into PBS broadcasting, and that's what I was doing for many years, doing producing and directing for that. And then it was actually, it's funny how this stuff all sort of repeats itself. Around like 2007, 2006 it was slowing down. 2007 was like the end of the independent DVD era for Enicom. Once a couple things happened all at once. One, we could no longer get promotion for any of our films. Like, I remember 2005 I put out Expo Magic of the White City, which is still on Amazon Prime right now, and I don't distribute it anymore, so I'm not involved, but it's still a good film, so check it out if you have Amazon Prime. But that we got a lot of press for, and then like right after that, they couldn't get press for anything. I think Borders closed somewhere, and or they like shipped all of them back. I don't know. I think one day there was like a pallet of stuff that got returned. It was like, oh, well, that's not good. So I was basically looking to get out of it at that point, and starting to contemplate grad school, which, of course, I never particularly cared for school, so that was like a horrifying prospect. But preparing to get out of filmmaking altogether, and then this like thing called YouTube was happening around 2007. We started putting some stuff up on YouTube, and some of the old game rooms went up on YouTube. They're still there, 2007 dated, and people, started watching them. And I think somewhere, I can't remember what year it was 07 or 08, they were owned by Google at that time, and companies, legitimate companies, could start to earn ad revenue. So we got in on this partner program, or whatever it was called, early on, and sure enough, the videos started to earn a couple bucks. So I had this idea in my head, like, well, I could bring Classic Game Room back, and I tried to do it, but it's not funny. And I could never make it like the old show because there were two of us, and our back and forth banter was funny because that was like the whole thing. So I made like one or two where I experimented with it that I didn't like. It was like a Pac-Man versus Halo one or something, which was terrible. But this one, and this short-lived era here in 2008, was me tiptoeing into Classic Game Room, knowing that it wasn't just going to be a bunch of silly jokes, but actually more like a documentary series on video games. And then it eventually sort of gained its own personality from there and turned into a more popular show for a few years, where I would say it peaked in probably 2012, 2013. Some of the larger companies started closing their doors on us. Like, there was this time when the shows would be featured and lots of people would watch them and the dog would bark, and that was great. And then 2013, like, big companies and like the fake corporate review sites started to like encroach on our territory, and then YouTube started clamping down all the copyright crap, and then came vlogging and reaction videos and top 10 videos and viral videos, and well, here we are today.
You lost the left to right sort of pseudo 3D side-scrolling game that made Zaxxon good to begin with.
But isn't this good? I mean, come on. Who doesn't love Monotone Mark talking about Zaxxon? I sound like such an idiot.
And we're greeted here with some kind of a horrible mixture of a vertical shooter and an attempt at a three-dimensional game where you move up and down and shoot your enemies.
And here we are in 2018, 10 years after recording this, where I'm about to launch a brand new Classic Game Room, which really will be unrecognizable compared to this. But at its heart, it's still the same show. So, it's like the 10-year anniversary cut of the Zaxxon review. I was thinking as a joke of putting it on YouTube backwards and running all of the reviews in sequence backwards, but I have found over the years that the internet does not really have much of a sense of humor, so it's not worth the time, unfortunately. It's worth my time to concentrate on new stuff. Now the YouTube channel, which still exists, of course, is not going away. In fact, I'm going to rebrand it and reboot it soon, as well as a whole lot of stuff running through all at once, like usual here. And there's only one of me. There's not actually any clones. Shh! Don't tell anyone. So, like, doing some work over there to prep for some of the drawing books, which is what the new channel is going to be about. And of course, people will scream and cry about that. But YouTube is great for vlogging. It's good for how-to videos. It's good for marketing. Sucks for gaming content, unless you're one of the top 10 people doing it, or just making top 10 videos where you steal everyone else's footage. It's not good for gaming content for a variety of reasons. Number one, the market's oversaturated. Number two, all the copyright nonsense is out of control, because games are comprised of audio, you have visual, and you have copyright everywhere. So you've got that issue, and then additionally with Classic Game Room, it takes a lot of time to make. So CGR is not a good fit for YouTube at the moment, and I don't think it ever will be again. But a how-to video that only takes like 5 minutes to make, 10 minutes to make, that's great for YouTube. Like, that's perfect. That's exactly what it's for. So you will be seeing more from me on YouTube, but not CGR. CGR is going elsewhere, and obviously we're just getting to the big, I say we because all of us, we're just getting into this new era, and it's a little. There's quite a bit of uncertainty. I'm a little unsure of even where it's all going to go, but I'm pretty excited about it because a change needed to be made, and a change needed to be made in 2008, and it's like a 10-year anniversary.
But since you really can't
this.
tell where your enemies are in the distance anyway with relation to the horizon,
Shoot the cross.
or altitude, it pretty much sucks. They get an A.
I'll tell you what sucks, this review. Ah, look at that video quality.
What's up, ladies? What's up, sluts? Welcome to the game room. Today's...
Oh my god. Nobody ever accused me of being stylish. Here we have a memorable one from the archives. It's the classic Game Room Edit Station 1 saga, Part 2. This I think was 2007. Yep, 1978 to 2007. It's 11 years old now. It's been a pretty upsetting day today. We finished editing the classic Game Room film on our new editing station, Edit Station 1. It's a lot fleshier back then.
I'm very, very pleased.
I could eat a lot more.
The performance in editing that Edit Station 1 did. It was really good. But at the last minute, we had to change a few scenes around and do some color correction. And since Edit Station 1 was from 1978, he didn't have the color correction tools of a modern editing system, so we used a different editing system just for the color correction. I think he took it pretty hard. I walked in the office this morning, and this is just how I found him.
Love that carpet.
You know, normally he was just so happy and vibrant and full of life. And then just recently, I mean, I don't know. We did everything we could. We tried to resuscitate him, but
Nice editing.
you know. Just made a note here. It's a bit melodramatic. Still a mystery to me how he unplugged himself. What kind of a decent computer leaves a floater anyway? Can someone get this piece of shit out of my office? It's starting to stink up the place. It smells like whiskey and fried circuits. Look, I think we can get a 5-cent refund for the bottle of Maryland, so I may as well take it and get something out of this.
Here we go. I forgot about Classic Game Room 2.0, and I think this is on YouTube, but I'm not sure. The Lost Classic Game Room 2.0 review of Halo 3 vs. Ms. Pac-Man, with the original Edit Station 1 voice, which was terrible.
I was around long before for the original classic Game Room series, and edited the show in its prime. In my electronic heart, I have yearned for so long to bring back the Game Room for those out there who like the classic games as much as the new ones. With the power of my broken break key, I'm going to review these new games the way they need to be reviewed, right alongside their elders. Games from the Atari 2600, 7800, Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh, well, I like this.
This is Ms. Pac-Man.
Alright, I remember this now. This is like the experimental review. When I was trying to re-engineer a two-person format with only one person. Which actually I'm doing now for the new series, it's just I'm a lot better at it. And the voice is way better. Kind of like that opening shot with Edit Station 1 bouncing around the palm trees. I may have to steal that from myself, but that's where I was going with this. It was like me talking and the Edit Station 1 talking, because I didn't want to like carry all the humor on myself because I wasn't that funny. I mean, I'm still not. Now I just don't care.
The Atari 2600. Do you remember the Atari the first time around? Well, I do, and let me tell you, it was awesome. Ms. Pac-Man was originally released in the arcade in 1982. Do you remember arcades? Well, I do. I was selling drugs in them in the mid-80s. The goal of the game
That's how he
is
earns
simple:
money.
to spend as many quarters as you can before you run out of money.
Oh.
Ms. Pac-Man is ideal to review with Halo 3 because they are both sequels of popular games. Ms. Pac-Man is the sequel to Pac-Man, where Halo 3 is the third in the Halo series.
Wow, good. Very
They are also similar in that both of these games are much more advanced than the earlier versions. The original Pac-Man on the Atari was god-awful.
True ship isn't taking
This
part
is
in the
true.
attack.
I'm right about
Must have
that.
gone to ground.
Roger that, ma'am. We're on it. Kick the door.
Remember when Halo 3 was new?
I swear I've seen this scene before in a movie. Perhaps it was Titanic.
Also from James
The part
Cameron.
at the end, where Jack drowns, always makes me cry.
Wow. Ah, it's the old Volvo.
Gin 1, a gin and power pellet tonic. With a
I gotta check and see if this is on YouTube. If not, I'll just send it. I'll put it up here on Patreon. But I think that's still on YouTube. I don't know. I don't even remember anymore. All right. Well, have a great. What month is this? January. Like one day of it left, and have a nice February. And of course, I'll be keeping you up to date on Classic Game Room 2085, which is. What are we up to now? Like the 7th or 8th Classic Game Room series. Someday it will just, stabilize, but hopefully soon. Alright, I'll see you soon here on Classic Game Room. Thank you for backing on Patreon, and I hope you've enjoyed this. This has actually been fun to go back through an old drive and dig up some stuff. There may be a few other odds and ends in here. We'll see what I happen to come across in the future here on Classic Game Room. Lots of good stuff ahead. See you soon. How do I end this? Ooh, there's a story. Classic Game Room 2.0 is no more. Oh, after I canceled it. While awaiting trial, Edit Station 1 stole in El Camino and tried to flee to Canada. I haven't changed at all. He stopped at the border, dramatic role for his life. Edit Station 1 was machine gunned and took a dramatic fall off a bridge. He's now missing. Oh, he's playing guitar here.
Enter the 2600 chambers of Game Room.